All right, first things first. Okay, I'm going to, we got to write answers down, right? Because that's what we're doing. Okay, so who knows what we're going to do here? So what I want you to do is just to write out each expression, explain the power law in your own words, right? So what happens when I have a base, two bases that match, x and x in this instance? I'm going to do x, and then I'm going to go a plus b, right? And so we, in your own words, I don't know, everybody's words are probably very similar, add the exponents. Okay? And that's just off your sheet, off the front side sheet with all the rules. Okay, and then with division, anytime you have the same, again, you'll notice with all these questions, all the bases match, right? So when I have division, we go x, and then we go a minus b, okay? And we subtract the exponents here. So let this do two things for you, right? It's a good little recap of like, do you know your rules, right? And then also like, it could act as like kind of a formula sheet for you for the rest of the questions, right? That was kind of the hope. You guys put some thought into it, write it down, contextualize it. And I think anytime we write something down, it gets a little bit more locked in your head, right? Which was kind of the goal of that, is for you guys to look at your sheet, write down the rule, and then lock it in, right? Now, this one here, we've discussed this at length this morning. When I have a power raised to a power, I should get, you multiply the exponents, right? Sorry, that should be up here, I guess. Oops. Right, so we're going to say, we could say distribute / multiply into the brackets. Okay? Do you have any questions so far? You're okay? So now we can say, okay, well for D, if I have a negative exponent, we go write it like this, x to the power of positive a, right? We have to go 1 over, right? So we call this the reciprocal, or what Jacob likes to call flip. Just Jacob. All right, and then here's Owen's favorite one. It's the easiest one. Anything to the power of 0 is 1, okay? There you go. Okay, any questions? Just 5 easy marks for you there. Okay. Won't be so easy on the test because you'll actually have to remember them, but hopefully by that point you guys have written them out or done them enough that you'll be able to talk about them. Okay. Okay, so let's go down to number 2. We'll have a go at these questions and see how we do, okay? 3, right? We've got something like the first example here where we have a base and a base, they both match. In this instance, we have a 3 and a 3, right? So we're going to add the exponents together. So we're going to go 3 to the 3 plus 4. We get 3 to the power of 7. Who knows what 3 to the power of 7 is? I do not. You know who will, though? Calculator. So we'll go 3 x to the 7. Should get 2,187. Did we agree? Sorry, I'll move it up. The only thing with making the recordings is we're fixed on my laptop screen. It doesn't necessarily fill it. I can't make the QuickTime any bigger. Okay, this is a nice one. Bases match. That's all. The first thing you're always checking is bases match. In this case, the base is 12. So we're going to get 12 to the 8 minus 2 because it's a division. So we subtract the exponents, right? And we're going to get 12 to the 6, which is going to be a relatively big number, which is okay. Don't be scared of big numbers. Oh boy, that is a big one. Right. 2,985,984.
Wow, that's a big number.
Oof. There you go. Any questions with that one? Nothing too crazy yet. That's just applying rules. Next one gets a little trickier, but that's okay. Okay, we have 2 to the 11th. Remember, the dot indicates multiplication. Okay, that's just another way to write multiply. And for the reason that since we've all seen x's, right, we've kind of graduated away from writing times like this because then we confuse them for x's. So they like writing the little dot now. The dot or the brackets, that's why you'll see that, okay? So, we're gonna get 2 to the 11, right? And then I'm gonna multiply that, I'm gonna deal with the exponent that's sitting there, right? I have a power raised to a power, which means we're gonna multiply, right? So I have 2 to the 14, right? Because it's 2 times 7, right? That looks like a Z, I'll fix that, it's a 2. Basis match, right? No problem. We have an instance like question A where we can just add the exponents together, okay? So we go, don't forget your equal signs. 2 to the 11 plus 14, right? That's going to be 2 to the 25, right? And if we type that in our calculator, I don't expect anybody to know 2 to the 25 off the top of their head. But if we told, boy, if we type it in our calculator, we get another big number, 33,554,432. So 33,554,432. Okay? Hopefully this gives you a little, like, this is a precursor. The reason why we're doing this is because we need some of these skills in order to do things like compound interest and some of the other financial pieces of the course, right? So this gives you a little insight as to how quickly something like 2 to the 25 grows. And we're going to see some more of that as we actually start looking at what an exponential graph looks like, okay? These are exponents. So you better believe that there is a relationship between exponents and exponential graphs. That's what we're going to look at next, okay? You guys have never seen anything like that before, right? But that's fundamentally how things work, okay? Interest, mortgages, car payments, car loans, all that stuff is all exponential graphs, right? For the most part. Okay? Does anybody have any questions? Okay, let's do the next one. A little trickier again, but again, we're just going to start 5 to the power of 9. We're going to divide by. You could write divide by like this too, right? You guys have multiple ways to write division. You could write it like that. Right? And we're going to divide by 5 to the negative 8. Okay, so you basically get something like 5 to the 9. Take away, be careful with this one. Take away negative 8. Okay, why did I do that? Well, there's 9, there's negative 8. Division indicates that we subtract. Here, I'll do that a different color. Division, subtraction. Okay, you guys can't quite see that. Okay, so now we go 5 take away negative 8 should be 5 to the power of what? What is that? What? 9, 2 negatives, Jacob, make 8. This is why I was saying be careful. A positive, so we go 9 plus 8. 9 to the 17. Okay, gonna be a big number. It's all right, don't worry about it. Holy smokes. I won't make the test questions this big. And you don't need to worry about what I'm writing on the page right now. That's a huge number. Okay? If it was a test question, I would accept something like this. All right, both would be fine. I don't care, but it's all right. Times 10 to the 16 is a gigantic number. That's astronomical size. Stumbled there. Okay, let's turn the page over. We'll finish the last two questions and then we're good, okay? So again, this is what I was trying to show you this morning. Okay? Just simplify these. Okay? And it really, again, doesn't matter what order you do it in, but sometimes you might find working with the numerator exclusively and then dealing with the denominator after is helpful. Right? Top and bottom. Okay? So, why don't we do... We'll deal with the top in the first question, okay? Do we happen to know what 7 times 12 is off the top of their head? 84, I heard 84, that's good. 84, okay? That's from the multiple of the two numbers on the top, and then we have to go x to the power of 4, right? We'll deal with the x's. So we got x to the power of 4 multiplied by x to the power of 2. So we get x to the 4 plus 2, right? Because we're adding the exponents. There's no y's in the numerator, or in the top. So we just get y5. That's the top simplified. Now we can do a little simplification with the denominator, right? You say, okay, over 28. X cubed y. Okay? I'm just going to rewrite that and clean that up. Okay. Now, you can type in your calculator. It may or may not work out that it's fully reducible, but we'll type in 84 divided by 28. Oh, works out nice. It happens to be 3. Right? So we get the division of the numbers, and hopefully you guys can see that okay on the screen. 84 divided by 28 gives me 3. And then I can start doing my division power law, right? Or my quotient, right? Hopefully you guys can see all these colors. I don't know how they turn out. That's all right. And then the last one will be blue, maybe. Okay. Darker blue. Purple. Okay, so just subtract those exponents. So we get x to the 6 minus 3, y to the 5 minus 1. There's an imaginary 1 on that y. And we finish it off, and this is the end of the question. 3x cubed y 4. Final answer. Okay, there could be an extension question somewhere in the future that says, okay, simplify and then evaluate. So I might say then evaluate, which means what, Jacob? Like you're just going to plug in numbers. So then evaluate when x equals 2 and y equals 1. Okay, you guys can give me a number. So what you would do is say, okay, well, it's 3, 2 cubed, 1, 4. You could type that in your calculator and call it a day. This is what it would be. Then evaluate when x equals this and y equals that. You plug them into where x and y show their faces, and then you just give me a number. Okay? That would be an extension. All right? It would say simplify, then evaluate would be the question. Is everybody okay? I haven't taught you that yet, but it's a future question. Okay? We'll do B. Is everybody still copying? Are we okay? Do one more. So again, it's not that bad. Like you show, let's say you missed today. Let's say, this is what I'm saying. You guys missed class, big deal, okay? For whatever reason, I post this, and maybe it costs you 17 minutes to watch the formative from that day. You know what I mean? Which is not time wasted, right? The formatives are, again, you guys hopefully by this point have seen 2 summatives. The formatives have been pretty representative of what you see on the summatives, right? So it's worth your 17 minutes to go watch this video if you miss it, or if you didn't understand it. Right? You sit, pause, and take in what I say, and keep working. Okay, this question, kind of reverse this time. Nothing to be done in the numerator, right? There's no multiplication, there's no power to power, there's nothing to be done there, it just is what it is. The interesting work is down here in the denominator, in the bottom, right? So we can do some little expansion there, if you will, okay? We can say, okay, 3 times 13, maybe I'll color code these so you guys can see, 3 and 13. What is 3 times 13? Does anybody know? Is that curiosity? It's 39, it's convenient, right? So I'm gonna rewrite the top, 39, a to the power of 7, b to the 14, and that's gonna be divided by, conveniently in the bottom, we're gonna have that 39, that's from the multiplication of the yellow. Okay, and then we're gonna have a squared plus 4, right? That's from, I'll color code that, these two. Okay, and then we have one more. It'd be B4 and B9, right? So we're gonna go B to the 4 plus 9. Okay, so I'm gonna clean that up. I'm just gonna rewrite it. 39A7. Again, you guys write out as many steps as you need, whatever helps you. I wouldn't try and do this whole question in one or two lines. You know, take as much space as you need. That's why I gave you the whole back, right? Sometimes you just want to simplify the work, right? So you don't make any mistakes. Silly mistakes. I mean, it's okay to make mistakes, but the silly ones like 2 plus 4 being 5 or something, like you don't want to make a mistake like that and then get the wrong answer, right? Okay, so what do we get? Well, you can deal with these things in a multitude of ways. 39 divided by 39, I would start with the number. Well, that's just 1, right? So I get 1. A7, take away 6. B14, take away 13. So I get 1, A to the 1, B to the 1. Finished. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for the viewers at home?
You like waffles?